I'm actually in my mom's sewing room right now. And I filmed this video with my dad's camera, but it stopped working at some point, and now I have to film this video with my phone. So I hope this works as well. So I'm in my mom's sewing room because I wanted to talk about fashion. When I was a kid, I used to make my own clothes. I didn't really know how the sewing machine worked, like my mom's sewing machine, so I would always sew it with my hands. But as you can understand, that didn't really work that well. So after I made the clothes, I would wear them and then go play outside. And then it would like put up my arms or something and the seams would rip. So I didn't really make them of good quality. Like, it was more because I liked making them. I liked choosing the fabrics with fun patterns and stuff like that. So it was more about the making than about the end result. And I remember that my grandma really liked the fact that I was interested in fashion, because she actually was a fashion designer when she was young. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So when I was young, my mom would always pick out my outfits, and then sometimes I would pick out my own outfits, and they would look really weird. Like, sometimes I would wear shorts with leg warmers, which is not very convenient because it's like warm and cold at the same time. Sometimes I had these knee-high socks and they would have holes in the where the toes are. So I would cut the bottom part off and then I would use them as arm warmers or something. I probably looked insane, but I didn't really care about what other people thought of my outfits as long as I liked it. And then I went to high school and I didn't really know what my style was anymore. But when I was like 11, I remember me and my friends would have these top model books and there were like boys and girls without clothes in it. That sounds a little weird, but you could like draw the clothes on them yourselves. And we would spend like hours on hours at school just drawing, and it was so much fun. Like, I really like drawing, but I also like fashion, so it was just the perfect match, I guess. I don't think I have those drawings anymore, sadly. But yeah, at high school, I didn't really know what my fashion style was. I remember like sometimes I would see something in a store and I would be like, that looks so cool, but I could never pull that off or something, or I was worried what other people would think of how I looked. And then at some point I stopped caring about that, and now I just wear whatever I want. Also, when I was 18, like when I turned 18, right now I'm 19 by the way, but when I was 18, I decided not to support fast fashion anymore. I don't exactly remember why I decided to do that, but there's this documentary about fast fashion, and I actually haven't watched it, but I heard people talking about it, and I actually already knew like fast fashion is just not fair, you know. It's bad for the environment, and the people that make these clothes don't get paid enough, and their working spaces aren't safe and stuff. So since I turned 18, I only buy second-hand clothing or vintage clothing. So sometimes I go to thrift shops, and sometimes I buy stuff online, like on United Wardrobe. It's this website. I don't know if it's only used in the Netherlands. I think it's also used in Germany and France. And you can like buy and sell secondhand clothing there. So I actually sold some stuff there as well, and I buy clothes there. For instance, this shirt I buy it on United Wardrobe. So I think it's really cool that when you buy secondhand or vintage stuff, most of the time no one else has that piece, so it's like a unique piece, and it's just more interesting because I don't know, it's just more makes your style more you and more unique, and I really like that. So nowadays I don't really care about what other people think of my outfits. I just wear whatever I want to wear. And I also started making clothes again. So I'm planning on making more fashion videos in the future. Like I want to make a skirt, actually like an historical skirt, but you'll see in the next video. And I also wanted to show you what I recently made. I recently bought this beret on United Wardrobe as well for like €2. It's just a black beret, but I saw this picture on Pinterest, I think, of someone wearing a beret with a crescent moon on it, and I was like, that's awesome, but I can make that myself. So I never really embroidered anything until now. So this is what it looks like. It's like a crescent moon, but turned over 90 degrees or something. So this is what it looks like. It actually kind of looks like a croissant. I asked my followers on Instagram if they thought this was a crescent moon or a croissant, and most people thought it was a croissant. But like I said, I don't really care what other people think. I think it looks cool, so I'm still gonna wear it. And it was supposed to be like really neat, but it was my first time, so that didn't really work out. So at some point it looked kind of messy, and then I just went with the messy theme. And I think it turned out pretty well. So I don't know if you can see it. That's what it looks like. I can't really put it on right now because I have space buns. And I also, like some time ago, I think actually it's almost a year ago, it was like last summer, I made this little backpack. I actually made it out of a Chinese type shirt. I think it's called a cheongsam, but I bought this Chinese type shirt on United Wardrobe as well for like 10 or 15 euros. And I wore it like once at a photo shoot. You can see right here what it looked like. But I was planning on making a small backpack because I didn't have one, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make this myself. And my mom helped me. So these straps, we bought these at a sewing store. I don't know if that's what it's called. It's like this small sewing store in Utrecht. So you can actually make the straps longer or shorter. And as you can see, there are like birds and dragons and flowers on here, so I think that's pretty cool. And these, where they open and close, these thingies are also from the shirt, so we just use everything on the shirt that we could use. So it opens like this, and then there are little buttons on the inside. And then the inside is also with these different colors, which I think is really cool. So that's the little backpack that I made, and my mom helped me a lot because I'm not that good with the sewing machine yet. but I actually think it turned out pretty well. And I'm really excited to make more stuff in the future. And if you guys want to see more videos about that, then I'm totally fine making videos about that because I really like it. So I can show you what it looks like on. I actually haven't used it that often yet. I took it with me on some concerts. Maybe if I stand up. That's what it looks like. One of the last things I want to talk about is Episode. It's this thrift store. You have one in Utrecht and in Amsterdam and Haarlem and some other Dutch cities. But I actually recently bought this vest. I think it's called a vest at Episode in Utrecht. It's this vest. I bought it because I watched Little Women recently. Before COVID was a thing, so I went to the cinemas and I watched Little Women. And the character Laurie, he was wearing these white blouses with these vests, and the girls were also wearing vests. And I just really liked the way that looked, so I also bought a vest, secondhand. This is a picture of Laurie with a vest that inspired me. I can wear it. It probably looks weird with this shirt, but that's fine. So it looks like this. Actually, like a month later or so, I discovered this really cool thing about this vest. So apparently this vest is Japanese, and I figured that out because inside the vest is a pocket. I don't know if you can see, it's like this pocket right here. And at first I didn't look in it, but then I looked in it and I saw this. So this yellow right here is the name of the store, and it's called Matsuzakaya, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it, but apparently that store already existed in 1910. So this vest is pretty old. And I also discovered that there's a name in this, and it's in Japanese characters. So I translated it on Google Translate, as you can see here. So his name is actually pronounced Mr. Yasukawa, I'm pretty sure. And I also searched on the internet what that name means. And apparently it means peaceful river. I think it's pretty cool that I actually know what the previous owner of this vest is called and where he got it, and that this is actually pretty old because there's also a date in this, and that's probably the date that he bought this, and that date is February 9th, 1953. So that means that this is almost 70 years old, which is pretty cool. But yeah, there's a date in there, and that's the name. So a tip for when you buy secondhand stuff: always check for pockets or something, because there could be a name or a date in there, which is pretty cool information in my opinion. So now that I know who this vest was from and how old it actually is, it makes it even cooler. So yeah, that is one thing. And then there's also another thing I bought like a year ago at Episode. So I was at Episode a long time ago, but Episode actually makes new clothing pieces with out of kimonos. So I saw these pants they sell at their store, made out of kimonos, which I think is really cool. So it's a little dirty and crinkly right now, so they're just black, but at the ends they have really cool pattern. So as you can see, it's with all these flowers, and it kind of looks like a Japanese village with these houses and stuff. And then it goes on the back as well. It's kind of hard to show. And then the other side also has a lot of stuff on it. I actually really like the fact that it's asymmetrical. So I've actually worn these pants quite often, and I would like to buy a kimono and make something out of it myself. So sorry that this video is like all over the place, but I just wanted to make a video about fashion and why I like it, because I'm planning on making more fashion videos on my channel. So if you're interested in that, please look forward to it. If you're interested in anything, just ask me in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Serenade the door.